Hey guys, welcome back. Joe here from 9 to 5. We're going to be talking about something that successful people have to deal with and unfortunately aren't allowed to complain about because they're successful. And that is dealing with unsupportive family members or friends when they become successful. This is kind of a weird subject, and it's kind of something that most people don't think that successful people have to deal with. And a lot of times we think that successful people are just, they got everything's going well for them. They got plenty of money. They got great friend. Everybody wants to be their friend. Family members love them. They love, like, oh yeah, I'm related to blah, blah, blah. And he's doing great. That's not always the case. A lot of times when you become successful and you start to move in an upward trajectory that is faster than 1 + 1 = 2. If you start to kind of do the 2 × 2 = 4, or the 100 × 100, and you start to really explode exponentially, people around you are not, going to appreciate that, because a lot of times that has an effect on them in a negative way and casts a negative light on them. And unfortunately, everybody is somebody else's Joneses, and you are the Joneses to people around you, family and friends. I'm not saying that always the same way is an issue, but we're going to talk about some stuff here to kind of help you combat that issue. That is an issue that most people don't talk about. So success is a hard road to full of twists and turns. And when you're on your way to success, a lot of times the issues that you're going to have is that, I think successful people fail more often than unsuccessful people do, just because they're trying new things. They're recalculating, they're making more mistakes, and they're adjusting. I look at success as you're turning an axe blade into that is kind of dull into something that is razor sharp. And every time you make a mistake and you learn from it, that's you taking a little bit of the edge and making it a little bit sharper. That's kind of how I look at success, if I was going to put it into a metaphorical stance there. Trial and error is required, and adaptability is key to survival, just kind of like I talked about. And you should always expect the unexpected. And one of the unexpected things is that family and friends might not show you support once you reach a certain level of success. I've dealt with this in my own life. Some family members have been very supportive of me, and they're very proud of the success that I've had in my life, and some not so much. It is weird. You think that your family and your friends, they are your family and your friends, and they should be your biggest supporters. And they should want what's best for you, and a rising tide raises all ships. That's at least the mentality that I had, when I was starting to move up a little bit faster than the planned out trajectory that a lot of people have in their lives. Some will follow you and be excited for you and be a cheerleader for you, and they'll be happy for your success, and others, not so much, unfortunately. And why is that? Why do people are not happy for your success? When I see people that are successful around me, I'm happy for them, but I'm also watching them and just being like, I want to get closer to them, because I know that they're doing something that I'm probably not doing, or they're doing something I'm doing, but they're doing it a lot better. And I want to figure out what they're doing so that I can apply that and put it into my own life. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they're not happy, and they might feel that they're just jealous of your success, or maybe they make excuses that you got lucky. You got lucky. You got some breaks in life that maybe they didn't get, and that's the reason why you're successful. And they don't want to admit that they're jealous. So they might talk bad behind your back. They might start to make passive aggressive comments. I've had that in my life personally, a lot of those that pop up, or they ghost you and they just don't talk about, what you do for a living, or they don't ask you about it, even though that, what you're doing is your passion, and you would talk about whatever you're doing all day long. And you at least think they would bring it up, as a curiosity, to say, hey, how's that, business going of yours? You've been doing it for what, 10 years now? Not even that comes up sometimes. And that's kind of like a type of ghosting that they do for you, that they do to you, excuse me. They might talk bad behind your back. That might get back to you eventually, or it might not. Or the passive aggressive comments. I've had those before, and it's, it always seems to hit a little bit closer. It seems to get past the armor and a little bit right into the gut sometimes when it comes from a family member or a friend, because you're just like, whoa, I thought we were like, in this together type of situation. Not just some, moron on the internet that wants to just talk trash. Like, they don't really matter to me, but you're like family. I don't understand. You may get offended, and you might want to reach out and clear the air with them, and maybe say, ask them something's wrong. You might even think that you did something wrong at this point. If they start to act a little bit differently, noticeably different around you, that you've become successful now. And maybe you did do something wrong. There is a potential that, when you are successful, a lot of times being successful, a lot of times confidence can come off as cocky or being bragging a little bit. And, you might, because you're so focused on your growth, you might come off as being self-centered or greedy. And that might have come off in a negative way. And maybe you were being a little bit too self-centered, or maybe you were kind of bragging a little bit, or, maybe you were chasing that almighty dollar just a little bit too hard. And maybe you do have some fences to mend. You don't really know, because, when you're so focused and in the zone, a lot of times you don't really see yourself from an outside perspective. You might want to reach out with them and maybe clear the air and just talk about them and just see how they're doing. Remember a few things too, that, people measure their success based on those around them, rather than how far they've come. So it goes back to the keeping up with the Joneses type of mentality. It doesn't matter how far I've come personally. It's just like, am I beating my neighbor? Do I have a bigger truck than he does? Do I have a better looking house? Do I go on better and more vacations than he does? That type of thing. People tend to feel better about themselves if they're putting other people down. And the problem is that they can't put you down anymore. They can't go, oh, well, if you, let's say that you made less money than maybe some of your siblings, maybe they got a degree in something and they got that entry level position that starts out at a higher pay level than maybe what you did. And investors, when we're investing and we're first starting out, we're 9 times out of 10 more broke than everybody else around us, because all of our money is out working and our money is growing itself. And we're trying to build a system. We're trying to build a business. We're trying to get something off the ground that didn't exist before. And that comes with a lot of 2 steps forward, maybe 4 steps back type of situations, or you are, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And then eventually, you just kind of get 4 steps forward all of a sudden. And then when they hit that 4 steps forward, they're just like, whoa, where'd that come from? And when you were out there trying to, make it on your own, maybe they felt sorry for you. Maybe they were putting you down behind your back, but they can't put you down anymore, because you are successful. You've grown your business to a point now where you are legitimately successful, and they can't do that anymore. So they have to figure out another way to blame their problems on you. Whatever the issue is, guess what? You can't control them. You can only control you. And it's okay to acknowledge the negative vibes that you're getting from them, and you're actually feeling hurt. You're allowed to feel hurt. There's a lot of coaches out there or mentors that say, like, don't let anybody push you down. Don't let anybody mess with you, whatever. Like, I agree with them in the fact that you shouldn't let that ruin your life. But I think that we're all human beings, and we're allowed to acknowledge that if someone close to us, a family or a family member or a friend who was on our side for a really long time, and then all of a sudden just, turned tail on us, you're allowed to feel hurt. You're allowed to feel some pain. You have to feel that pain, and then you have to move on from it and move on for the rest of your life. To focus on the next thing that you're focusing on. A lot of times at this point of the argument, you just want to call them out and just be like, the only reason you don't like me anymore is because I'm more successful than you. And you kind of want to lash out and inflict the pain on them that they've inflicted on you. And that is a natural response. I'm not I'm not pro that. You might need to vent to your spouse and or a business partner and blast that out to them, and they can blast it back to you, and then you can let it out and then feel better about it, and then you can kind of move on. But the actual family member or the friend, they might not be all bad, and they might have some family or some financial issues of their own that you don't know about, and because they're trying to keep up appearances and trying to keep up with the Joneses, that maybe they are sweeping some problems under the rug. Maybe they have some issues that they're not proud of, they don't want to talk about. And I was told one time when I was getting really worked up about somebody in my life that was affecting me, I was watching a YouTube video, or I can't remember where I got this from, but it was basically like, in everybody's life, they are center stage and everybody else plays a bit role, and that's it. I don't play as massive of a role in someone else's life as I probably really think that I do. Of course, my wife, my son, I play a big role in their lives, but I'm not a huge role in everybody's life that I know. Sometimes I'm just a bit character and I'm there. So I am not the main focus of their brain and their bandwidth 24/7. And what I'm trying to say here is that maybe they are giving you some negative vibes, but if I'm not 100% their bandwidth, why should they be 100% of my bandwidth? They shouldn't. It's okay to acknowledge that you have maybe some friction there or some issues, but when you're successful and you're moving forward in your life, you're going to have these issues, and it's okay to acknowledge that you have these issues, but you are by no means the center of everybody's universe. So how do you turn this issue into a win? And this is something that's easy to say and really, really hard to do. And that is, be the candle that shines the brightest and attracts others into your light. By that means is that when people are tearing you down around you because they don't have what you have, or they haven't achieved the level of success that you have, or you've moved up a few levels compared to what they have, it's easy to trash them back and just hammer down on them, because it's always easier to hammer on people that are less successful than you. It's just easy to do. It's harder to do the right thing, and that's to ignore that nonsense and focus on and just trying to be a good person. And even though you're getting punched in the face, you can still smile and still be nice and be generous with your time and your money, and be positive and have a positive impact on the world, because we're only here for a limited time. That is easier said than done, and it takes some work, and it's a good idea to get a network of people around you that are also successful, that you can kind of vent to and talk to. Because if you're a business owner, or you are very successful in your life, more successful than the people around you, you need to get some people in your life that are also very successful, that you can kind of talk to and bump ideas back and forth and vent to them, and they can vent to you too, because that is going to create a new set of friends. But it's also going to help that in the fact that they are not alone in their struggle, and then you're successful, they're successful, and you can kind of have a kinship with them. It also might be a good idea to distance yourself from those people for a while. They might be going through something that's temporary, and they just might need to go through that thunderstorm and get on the other side of it, and they might be better off. Or maybe they just need to get used to the fact that you are successful, and that's just the way that it is. And that my success is not dependent on their success. Like, they are in charge of their own destiny and their own lives. If I become a huge, business owner and I'm a billionaire, that doesn't have any effect on any of my friends. Like, in the fact that means that they can't pay their bills, or they can't pay their taxes, or they can't go on more or less vacations. Like, they are in control of their own destiny, just as much as I'm in control of my own destiny. Stay off social media. Social media can be a dumpster fire, and I like to do what's called a post and ghost. A lot of times I'll just post something up there that's positive, and then I will not read the comments. I will not respond. I won't even know if there's comments about it. I could just post something up, that says, have a good day, get out there and enjoy the sun. You just be something positive. It can be, it might not be as lame as that, but that was kind of a just off the cuff answer there. But I don't know if anybody responded to that at all. No, maybe no one even saw it, but I put it out there. And that's me just kind of like shining my light a little bit and being positive and being selfless. Confide with other successful people. I've already kind of talked about that. Find some other successful people that are maybe, not maybe your direct competitors, but also people that are successful in different areas of life. And, you can talk to them and they can talk to you and you can kind of go back and forth and create a kinship with them. And that could potentially lead to a mastermind group. And a mastermind group is a group of successful people that want to continue to be successful and not only build their lives, but build up the lives of other people around them. They are people that are just like you, that are trying to shine their lights. And if you guys combine all of your lights together, then it is a beacon that a lot of people can see. And if you're in a mastermind group, a lot of times, if I'm successful and if I'm around your friends and your family, they don't have that animosity towards me that they might have towards you, because they don't know me. They didn't grow up with me. I'm not related to them. I'm just a successful guy that they may or may not like, and they don't have that relationship, that emotional attachment, and same and vice versa with you towards my family and my friends. Guys, I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a different video that we're doing here. If you like types of videos like this, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comments. And have you dealt with unsupportive family members or friends as you've kind of become more successful in life? How did that make you feel? And how did you kind of overcome that? Have you overcome that? Would you like to find some tricks or some ways to overcome that? Was this video helpful to you guys? Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.